On today's video, I'm taking you with me on a trip to New Orleans. We're starting off in the French Quarter where I'll show you around some of the most famous spots like Bourbon Street and Café du Monde. I'll also be trying out a few local restaurants to give you a taste of the city's food scene, and a haunted pub crawl was another fun thing I did, which is a unique way to experience the city's history with a bit of a spooky twist. And finally, I visited the World War II Museum, which is one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. So if you're interested in seeing what New Orleans has to offer, stick around. So that makes sense. The DAPA vlogs are back, y'all. We are loading up right now. We are headed to New Orleans this morning, and then this is actually gonna be a part 2 vlog series. We're gonna finish down in Destin, Florida, over in Seaside. So first video you guys are gonna see is just us traveling down to New Orleans, and then after that we do have another trip going to Seaside. This is my luggage, small little bag. This is Victoria's luggage. Good to go. This will be the longest road trip in the Lexus. I got it, new oil change, aired the tires, so we're ready to go. We're gonna put into the map how far away what hotel we're staying at?
The Hilton on St. Charles Avenue? No,
it's in New Orleans, we know that. All right, search it up. I'm gonna guess that it is 11:30 right now. I'm gonna guess that it is going to take, well, I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'm gonna say it's gonna have us arriving there at around 7:02.
My guess is also 7.
Okay, so you're 7 on the dot. Are you sure you want 7 on the?
I'm doing 7:30.
All right, 7:02, 7:30. And of course we're gonna use Waze because we gotta see where the coppers are. All right, so there it is. 7:14, 7 hours, 44 minutes, 529 miles. Unfortunately, the Lexus can only do about 360, so we will be making a stop. I don't think there's a Buc-ee's there's no.
This way.
And we really did time up a good time. Stop.
I'm sorry.
Stop. We really did time up a good time to leave on this trip because in this week in Texas is supposed to be the hottest week out of any of the other weeks, and then it should start cooling down, but this middle of August it gets absolutely brutal. And fortunately for us, New Orleans is supposed to be in the low 90s.
Cold front.
So it's gonna be a little chilly, so we did pack the sweaters. My heart really goes out to anyone that has to drive on 635 every day. I know for a fact if you're having to do that, you are probably taking years off your life doing that. Wait a second, is that a Buc-ee's sign? Did you lie to me? Did you lie to me?
Is
At
there
12
a
miles, is that a Buc-ee's sign? Did you lie to me? You said that there would be no Buc-ee's.
I don't know if we're gonna hit this
You are trying
Buc-ee's.
to hide the Buc-ee's from me.
I'm not hiding
I
the
will
Buc-ee's.
not be hidden from the Buc-ee's.
There may be a Buc-ee's.
We're finally taking a little pit stop over here in Nacogdoches. I have done about halfway of the driving. Now I'm gonna throw it over to Victoria to handle the rest of the drive, or at least the majority of it. Unfortunately, we missed the Buc-ee's exit earlier in Texas, so we weren't able to go to Buc-ee's, but from New Orleans to Seaside, once we do our little New Orleans vacation, we will get the Buc-ee's in, so don't worry, it's coming. Victoria has now taken control of the ship. I am bunkered down here. I'm actually, here you go guys, this is a little bit of insight if you guys are watching the vlogs. I am currently working on classes for my Oklahoma state license to also practice real estate in Oklahoma. So if you're watching the vlog today, you're getting a little sneak peek as to what's to come in the future and what I have planned, but we'll just keep it at that. We are making it into New Orleans. 7:06 right now. Come on, 7:02. You got this. Going right past the Caesars Superdome.
In half a mile, use the left lane to
And look
turn
at this
left
time.
on Mandalay Street.
Arrival 7:02, 0.8 miles away. The only thing that's gonna mess it up at this point is the traffic, but I would say I was spot on.
You were exactly.
That is some skill, y'all.
I'll take the loss.
We have finally arrived. We are on a corner suite. So I'll give you guys a little walk around. The entryway, not too much here. Some tile, nice little framed up mirror to check out the fits before we head out for the night. The room is, yeah, she's dead right now. It was a drive. We went halvesies and it's affecting her a little bit more than me. Getting a nice view though. I am pretty stoked about this. We're up 10 floors. I wasn't expecting to have like an actual view where we could see out into things. But from up here, we actually see a bit of the sunset. And then if you look in close, there is the Superdome. So that's kind of cool. We get to see that, and then you get to see some of the buildings around here. But I really like how high up we are and actually being able to get somewhat of a view. Across, just your normal TV. A couple things down below. What's in here? Just some shelves.
There's a mini fridge.
Oh, there's a mini fridge.
And a safe.
This one's a mini fridge?
No, over there.
This one? Oh, okay. So nice little mini fridge comes with it. And then the closet to be able to hang up some stuff. The bathroom, pretty simple, but I do really like how big this shower is. And it's like almost fully enclosed. Do we rest or do we explore? Because we still got some sun out.
We explore and eat. Gotta eat. Right now.
The hotel we're staying at is the Hilton. The parking arrangement was a bit of a debacle. We didn't realize the parking was actually across the street. It is $130 that we're paying for 3 nights. And then the room is about $120 per night. We're walking over to Daisy Duke's to try our first meal of New Orleans. Day breakfast, omelets. But the waiter threw this at us and says special 2 for 1 drink. Don't know if I can handle that after an 8-hour drive. Okay, Victoria is on a mission. I think she's just gonna take them all. But looking at this menu, fried shrimp basket. Also voted best Bloody Mary by, I love this part, where you at. To give you guys an idea on prices, so you could do like a normal burger, $13. They got tender baskets, fish baskets, shrimp, oyster from like 15 to 22. I'm caught up between the chicken and waffles and the fried shrimp basket. Oh, he just wants the scratches. Of course, coming to New Orleans, the first drink, it's gotta be a hurricane.
You said it was blue.
I thought it was gonna be blue, it came out red. That's all right. Cheers to the start of a fun vacation.
I got 2 oranges.
I got 1 orange. Look at my little orange. My little... No, I don't want your orange. Now that is authentic red beans and rice, not your Popeye's chicken. Red beans and rice.
It's a lot.
And then I went with the shrimp basket, keeping it simple. For the first meal, Daisy Duke's was decent. I think my fried shrimp basket was all right. A lot of fries, and then they gave me this ginormous lemon that I didn't quite know what to do with. Victoria's red beans and rice. It was
okay, but the service was a...
Service was good. So for just a
Everyone's so
quick,
nice here.
a nice, quick, easy meal, plain Jane, I'm fine with it. Now we're headed to the depths of Bourbon Street.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to take in.
But it's cool. There's a lot to see.
It's like 6th Street, but if it was injected with Compound V. The first morning in New Orleans, we're headed to the French Quarter and Cafe Du Monde to get some beignets. That's the first thing on the list. We made it down to the French Quarter. In the middle, they got a green space with just some walking areas, and then around are just shops, restaurants, and then they also have some street artists and tarot card readers. Walked around Jackson Square looking at some of the statues. They got like a nice little green area out here. This is like the only green space they have. Everything else is concrete jungle and buildings and mayhem of colors everywhere. We did walk into one of the churches that's also here in Jackson Square. Looked through that just to get some quick AC. And then we finally got what we came for. Victoria has her coffee, iced coffee. And then we've got the beignets. Kind of waiting for this. All right,
And that's your, oh.
Oh, they're hot. Take one.
Hot and fresh.
Take one, or pick it off. Oh, good. Oh, there's just powdered sugar all over me. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Good stuff. Cash only, though. Keep that in mind.
We can go back home now.
We're done.
We're done for the trip. I'm good. Yeah, they have a to-go line. The to-go line wasn't too bad. We waited like maybe 5 minutes, but you do need cash. And then you're only limited to being able to order some certain things. So she got iced coffee. We got just the order of 3 beignets. And now we will continue to walk around on the French Quarter on this nice summer day. It is a bit hot, I will say that, but being from Texas, we can endure.
It's a hot one.
Other people out here dropping like flies. We're in Aunt Sally's, just right by Cafe Du Monde, trying to find some souvenirs and some gifts for my parents. I don't really have any clothes in here, but they got a bunch of kitchen items and paintings. Do you like anything in here? Should we get some of the hair? Keep walking around. Oh yeah, we could take a French market coffee you could make.
Yeah, that'd be a cool souvenir. Don't parents like those, like this, but it's like a spoon? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
That you lay your spoon on.
Yeah.
They have some on this.
Oh, recipe for king cake.
Ooh, with a baby.
Vermithor better begin the royalties on this. So right outside of Jackson Square, they've got plenty of artists out here, and we were wanting to buy from one of them rather than one of the shops. And so we're gonna look around and hopefully find maybe one of the small prints with something to do with New Orleans. So we'll see what we can come up with. We made it over to Pat O'Brien's right off of Bourbon Street. I wanted to show you guys the menu here. This is the world famous, to emphasize world famous hurricane. And then they give a little bit of a history on Pat O'Brien's. They give you a little rundown on the hurricanes, but you can do a Bloody Mary for $10, Mint Julep for $12. It's another popular drink around here. Pat O's Rainstorm, $12. So that's for their cocktails. And for their starters, the food menu, they have red beans, alligator bites. Ever tried alligator? Should we order the alligator bite? All right, we're gonna try the alligator bites. And maybe we'll just do starters because we're getting a drink. We're not like crazy hungry right now. We do have a pub crawl later on that we're gonna eat right before, so we're not gonna eat too much right now. And then it looks like the rest of this menu just gives you some more facts about Pat O'Brien's, but it's pretty cool. Like the entryway, it's like, feels like a little bit private, and then it opens up to this big courtyard out here. And then some of the rooms, there's like a bar in one room, and then there was like another lady doing some jazz or playing piano. But this definitely is a spot you need to come check out. And I can see from everyone else's tables, they also are in the same mindset with the hurricanes, but I don't know if Victoria can handle right now. A good stop at Pat O'Brien's. The hurricane was good. We didn't finish it, and we didn't know this before coming to New Orleans, that it's just open carry with alcohol everywhere. So that's kind of interesting. Everyone's just walking around with drinks. But we also got the gator bites. Those are pretty good, a little bit chewy, but I'd still get them again. We didn't get anything else. However, we did pick up some goodies along the way today, so I wanted to show you guys our little shopping haul. First, we got a smart water because even though it's a little cooler than Texas, temperature-wise, the humidity this week is actually kind of crazy out here. At Pat O'Brien's, we got one shirt for my mom, which looks like this. Has the hurricane and then also the logo of Pat O'Brien's on there. It's hard to do this one-handed. Okay, here we go. And then this is Victoria's shirt. She did like a white long sleeve. Also says Pat O'Brien's since 1933. For my dad, we got a print. He likes collecting little prints from areas. Here we go. On Bourbon Street. I wanted to get something that was from one of the artists around the square rather than in one of those random shops. Everything just is really gimmicky, so I would rather support an artist that was out on that square than anything else. Of course, we still have beignets saved. And then what's next? Here we go. the beignet mix, of course, but this is going to be on Victoria to make because I am not the baker, she is. Some, what are these? These are the magnets, right? Let's see. This little New Orleans magnets. Since Victoria is the coffee girl, she got Cafe du Monde French roast coffee. That is the haul so far for the too much hurricane. That is the haul right now for the New Orleans trip. Recharged, re-energized, we are rejuvenized. We are headed to the pub crawl. I have no idea what to expect. Do you know what to expect?
All I know is we're going to some like haunted sites. They're gonna tell us the history, and we're gonna get like $4 or $5.
We shall see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see where the night takes us. We have spotted a New Orleans zebra with the duckbill spoiler. Good taste. The weather is really setting the mood for this haunted pub crawl. For this haunted pub crawl, we all gathered up at the French Quarter. There's about 40 people at this pub crawl. However, they did split us into groups. This one we did find on TripAdvisor. It cost $27 per adult. It had pretty good reviews, and it kind of just depends on which tour guide you get. We got DJ, and he was awesome. We headed over to our first bar, which was Molly's on Toulouse. Now, this bar was also connected with some other good ones like the Dungeon. There was a few other just right off Bourbon Street. This one also is known for having a hanging coffin in the bar itself. It was a good start to the night. We learned about some things that happened along this street, some crimes, some other hauntings, some spooky things. And for this tour, it kind of hopped back and forth. So we'd go to a bar, get a couple drinks, and then we would head over to the next spooky haunted spot and learn more things about the French Quarter in that area. And each area that we headed to was only about a 5-minute walk. And along the way, our tour guide would kind of point out some things, some historical facts about the French Quarter. And the first actual haunted site that we stopped at was the Sultan House, or the House of the Turks, which is where the story of the slaughter at the Sultan House took place, which was a huge bloodbath apparently with some Sultan King heir. And it's also known for having some spooky characters and figures within the gallery and sometimes in the windows. So I tried to snap a couple pics just to see if I could catch a ghost, but I was unsuccessful. And during this whole tour, the weather, the clouds, the moon, everything was really setting the mood, making it like as spooky as possible. The next bar we stopped at was Lafitte's, which is the oldest bar in America. It's very small, it's a little bit more off the beaten path, but I like this area because it's a little bit more quiet. Now the inside is a little bit more packed. I feel like there's always going to be a lot of people within here, especially at 10 p.m. It's a very hot spot for people to go hang out. They have a piano bar in the back. You could do like a sing-along, but it was kind of cool seeing one of the oldest bars in America. After Lafitte's, we stopped at the LaLaurie House, which I'm not going to get into too many details about what happened here, but let's just say it was very gruesome. Maybe you do know the history about this, but it does have some crazy things that happened within it, with a doctor. Like I said, I'm not getting into too many details, but it was kind of crazy what they were telling us about what happened in here. This bar was very low-key, kind of reminded me of an Irish pub. It didn't really remind me. It was an Irish pub, it just wasn't in Ireland, but it kind of had that whole aesthetic to it. Once again, still a little bit further off Bourbon Street, a little bit more of a quieter area. I think it was more of like a local bar rather than a big tourist bar. And then the final place we stopped at was the Old Ursuline Convent. I believe I'm pronouncing that right, which don't get mad at me if I'm pronouncing some of these names wrong, but some of them are French and I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. But this is one of the oldest buildings in the French Quarter that housed some of the French nuns, and they were bringing some women over here to help kind of populate the area, but there's a whole background into that one. And then we finished off the night at Dat Dog's. Of course, your boy had to get a hot dog, and this was still a popping place even at midnight. There was tons of people here, and I went with the Chicago dog, and Victoria got the Dat burger. I will say this was by far the best meal of the whole trip. Dare I even say the best hot dog I ever had. Now, I don't know if that was because after a few drinks and walking around a whole bunch, I built up an extreme appetite, but it was one of the best dogs I have ever had in my mouth. I don't know if I wanted to say that, but I'm going to say that. That was one of the best dogs I've had in my mouth. We have survived into day 3. We had a bit of a full excursion last night with the pub crawl and going on Bourbon Street. I will say though, the bars that we've been going to, whether it's places to eat or hang out, we're not really going to the ones right on Bourbon Street. All the bars like right on Bourbon Street are just like a bit too much. So we're picking some of the other ones that are on like Toulouse. I think the other one was like Decatur.
Yeah.
There's some other streets that have some other pretty good bars, but Bourbon Street is just a bit too much to handle at times. We're about to be walking into the World War II Museum. Also, the place where we're staying right now, the Hilton, I would say like if you just want to be in the French Quarter, there's plenty of other hotels, but if you want to be at something where you can also walk to other things around New Orleans, I think being off of St. Charles is a pretty good spot. That way you can get to areas like this World War II Museum. They have a D-Day Museum. They've got a bunch of other things, but we're in a pretty good location to be able to do that and just walk to everything. I think if we were staying more in the French Quarter, we'd probably be taking a car over to the National World War II Museum or some of these other places on more of the, I guess this is the south side?
I guess, yeah.
I don't know, I'm directionally challenged right now. But we have made it to the museum. So I'll show you guys some of that on the inside, and then afterwards, probably get some food. And then like I said, this is gonna be a pretty chill one for today. My hair is, oh, we're getting a little bit crazy in the back there. Oh, little windy in New Orleans. We just finished walking through the World War II Museum. It took us about 3 hours, but 100% you could be in there for at least a day with the amount of things to read. They kind of split it up into different parts. They have one part of kind of the beginning with all the propaganda and some history about everything leading up to the beginning with the US getting involved. And then it kind of broke it into other things about like the road to Tokyo, the road to Berlin. And then there was plenty of little items here and there that would even show, like we saw one that was like a 5-cent Hershey bar. But I would say probably one of the most immersive experiences when it comes to a museum. The scale of this place is actually kind of ridiculous. Huge planes inside as well. They have some planes that are kind of chopped up, but I mean, some of them were like, one of the guys was telling me at the front entrance where you buy your tickets was an original plane that was used on D-Day to send out paratroopers, and like everything there is 100% authentic. I think there was maybe a couple replicas of some bombs in there, but a lot of things in there were authentic. And I liked how they would make the different areas kind of feel like you were there. And there was one area that actually made you feel like you were in the winter and it was snowing around you. But they did an awesome job setting up kind of the area to make it super immersive for everyone walking through. We didn't check out everything. There was a couple theaters in there that we didn't go through and watch some things, but for the most part, we got through all of it. So I would recommend going. The final goodbye. We are headed to our next adventure. However, there is one last stop we need to make. And I think you guys know what it's gonna be. Of course, y'all, the final stop had to be Cafe Du Monde, getting the iced coffee, getting the beignets to go. We're headed to Seaside. That's a wrap on the New Orleans trip. Thank you guys so much for watching. You will catch us over in Seaside, make another vlog there. We got about a 4-hour drive, but I think it's like 3 hours to Buc-ee's.
Gotta stop at Buc-ee's.
So, thanks for watching, guys. I guess we could say au revoir since we're in the French Quarter.
Si, oui.
Si. Au revoir. Thanks for checking out my channel and watching that video. I got more videos floating around here. If you're in the market to buy or sell real estate in the DFW area, contact me. I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Besides that, bye.